Hello, welcome. My name is Ryver, and I am the astrologer and Reiki master of Psyche and Soul Astrology. Thank you for taking the time to click that thumbnail and watch this video. Today we'll be talking about the Winter Solstice and the Cancer full moon. There is one last thing we'll talk about, and that is the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction in the sky. Now, I came out here rather impromptu today because the weather was nice, although it is still freezing cold. The sky is clear, there's no crazy wind, and so I thought I would take the chance to talk with you a little bit about some of the astrological news for this upcoming week. So, the highlights for this week today, of course, is December 21st. It's about 11 or so a.m. here on the West Coast. And today at 2:22 p.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, the sun is going to enter the sign of Capricorn. Tonight, really tomorrow morning for me, around 3:48 a.m., I believe, the moon is going to enter Cancer, and then we will have our full moon. The last thing I want to mention is that right now in the sky, Mercury and Jupiter have come together. So, what do these things mean? And more importantly, how can you use this information? How can you use this information so that you can make more empowered decisions, more fulfilling decisions, avoid a few common potential pitfalls with the upcoming astro weather, and really just bundle up and prepare yourself? Let's take a look. So today, December 21st of 2018, we have Mercury and Jupiter conjunct in the sky, and we have the sun moving into Capricorn. And whenever the sun moves into Capricorn, there is an occasion to say, Good Yule! Merry Solstice! Happy New Year to those of you who keep with the old calendar. For the rest of you, happy holidays. I know a few have just finished, and we do of course have a few more on the way. So whatever you celebrate this time of year, it's a good time to keep in mind that this time of year has been so important for so many different cultures. At least here in the Northern Hemisphere, I can take a guess because it is so damn cold. My hands are already frozen out here, so I am going to try to make this video really quick for us both. Now, if we look at the archetypes, particularly for today and tomorrow, for this year's solstice and full moon, we've got the sun in Capricorn, we've got the moon full in Cancer. Now, these are two signs that have a lot to do with family, but also with traditions. So what do we mean by that? When I say traditions, I'm talking about Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign that has to do with, well, it's often associated with father, grandfather. Some people will even say society at large, perhaps government institutions. It's a sign that really has to do with those external institutions that give us continuity over time. Now, Capricorn is a sign that is opposite in the sky from Cancer, and so we're dealing with an axis, and it's an axis of security. A lot of astrologers will call it that, at least. Now, the Cancer side, you can look at the moon as mother, you can look at the moon as grandmother, and you can also think about Cancer as a sign that has to do with our roots, with our lineage, with our ancestors. And so when we take this axis of security and we look at mother and father, grandmother and grandfather, we look at our family of origin, and we look at the culture that we live in, we can look at our ancestral roots, and we can look at the traditions of the society that we occupy. And so this time period with the solstice and through to Christmas and other holidays that are coming up, we can really see that family is highlighted. So one, that leads me to say, if you do feel connected with either a family of origin, with a chosen family, or with people who just really make your life feel happy, then if you can, take the opportunity to spend some time with them. They might have a lot to show you, either purposefully and intentionally, or just unintentionally and unconsciously through your own observation. They might have a lot to show you about how you can take 2019 and really own it, really boss out as much as you can, level up, and really bring the parts of yourself that you've been waiting and wanting to express out into the world. Let go of those things that have really been holding you back, and make way to receive a little bit more of the bounty and abundance that the universe has in store for you. Now, the other thing that is going on in the sky is that Mercury and Jupiter are together. Now, whenever two planets are together in the sky, I always think about it like two characters in a book meeting for the first time, or two characters in a play or a movie coming together. So when you think about Mercury, Mercury's like the bookworm, who's very, very detail-oriented, very much about processing information, taking in as many details as possible. And then you have Jupiter, who's, like this gregarious, boisterous, larger-than-life character who's really about the big picture, about expanding their consciousness, about seeing the broadest brushstrokes possible and really making meaning out of the perspective that we have. So we have perception and perspective. We have patterns and we have the details. So again, we're looking at an axis, just like we did with Capricorn and Cancer. We're looking at an axis when we look at the planets Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter belong to Gemini and Sagittarius respectively, so we have the meaning of life. So there are two axes that are really highlighted today and tomorrow and are going to set the tone for 2019 as a whole. So we have this axis of security, inner security with Cancer and outer security with Capricorn, and then we have this other axis with Gemini and Sagittarius. We have this meaning of life axis. So what does security have to do with the meaning of life? What does your family and the culture that you live in have to do with the way that you take in details and make meaning? This is a question that makes me really excited to give you some more content around intersectional astrology. It's something I've been working on a lot this past month or so, and something that I'm really deeply passionate about bringing to astrology and to the world. So more on that later. The last thing that I want to talk to you about, so we've talked about the sun moving into Cancer, or the sun moving into Capricorn rather, and we've talked about the moon moving into Cancer and the Cancer full moon that is coming up Saturday the 22nd of December around 3:48 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so early in the morning around just before sunrise if you're on the east coast of the States, and just before the afternoon if you're in Great Britain, I think approximately. So as we look at the Cancer full moon, we can also take into consideration this Jupiter-Mercury conjunction that's happening in Sagittarius, and that's taking place today. It's not the first time these two planets have been conjunct in the sky this year, but it is the last time that they'll be exactly close together as Mercury is moving forward through Sagittarius. So this has a lot to do with how we are taking in details and information about the world around us, how we are processing that information, identifying patterns or making meaning out of it. And this has a lot to do with how we can expand. So particularly if you've been thinking about higher education, if you've been thinking about revising a novel, anything that really requires you to process details in order to perceive meaning, right? We're taking this process and perceive, this detail and this perspective. These two things are going to be really, really highlighted for the next year as a whole. If you've been thinking about going back to school, this is a good time for it. Of course, other things in your specific chart are going to have a lot of information about that, which is why so many of us say, talk to me if you'd like a private consultation. And a skilled astrologer can really help you take this information and personalize it, really help you put a timeline on it, and maybe not a plan of attack, but a clearer strategy for harnessing the energy for your own personal benefit. So, full moon in Cancer, we've got the Jupiter-Mercury conjunction in Sagittarius, and we have solstice as a whole. So, there's a lot that we can talk about, and I'm actually going to save that for another video. I'll talk to you more about 2019 as a whole, but it is cold and the wind is picking up, and that recording time is ticking down real quick. So last thoughts: how can you take this information that I've given you today and turn it into something that you can use practically, tangibly, so that you can improve your life? Because that's what this is all about. Astrology is cool, but pie in the sky shit doesn't really do much for us on a tangible, practical level. So here are my 3 quick bullet points on how you can take this information and use it practically in your life. 1, if you are spending time with your family over these holidays, bring a journal. Make sure your phone is charged so you have an opportunity to maybe go talk to a friend if you need to. Just understand that a lot of feelings are going to be on display. As we enter this time, we've still got some leftovers from Mars and Neptune together in Pisces. We've still got some stuff that we're working out as far as these retrograde cycles are concerned. You know, Mercury has not yet left their shadow. Although Saturn is in new territory and Venus is in new territory, we're still really figuring out what are the ramifications. What has to change now that I've seen this information? I can't tell you what it is that came into your life, you know, in October, again in early November. But I can say that the planets are saying we really have to take it seriously. You know, as much as we can be light and hopeful and we can, you know, believe in the power of positivity and the law of attraction, and as much as I personally believe that those things are real, we also have to be, you know, we gotta shoot straight with ourselves. Sorry, always forward, never straight. We gotta have some real talk in our own heads about what is happening. So if there's somebody from the past who has come into your life and you're not quite sure how to deal with them, the astrology says that the answers are coming soon. And the real thing to do right now is to sit with the information. So I'll give it to you real quick. We'll try this again. The 3 quick bullet points. 1, real talk, real talk, real talk. Be real with yourself. If there's something that is ugly but really, really true, do your best to sit with that information right now. It might not be fun, and there maybe isn't anything that you can do with it today, but it is important. In fact, I say that it is absolutely critical at this time that you be truthful with yourself about what you are seeing. As the moon moves into Cancer, this dynamic is likely to be one that is projected and that we see playing out in relationships, or we see playing out externally from ourselves. So really pay attention to what you see. If there's a dynamic that's unfolding that you want to be a part of, recognize it, call it what it is, and figure out how you can bring more of it into your life. And if there's something that you got to cut out, figure out a strategy now and figure out if you can implement that strategy before the end of this year. Second quick bullet point for this year. How can you harness the energy of today's solstice so that you can make the most out of what is going on in the sky so that you can empower yourself to the fullest extent? Jupiter and Mercury together in the sky, right? Space kittens, if you like the pen, if you try to harness the power of the pen, then now is the time to do it. Whether you're journaling, whether you're writing on the internet, you got a blog, you got a website, write. Get your words out there, share them with people. I'm pretty sure the universe is giving me advice too, so I'm gonna try to get off this hill and practice what I preach. The third point, and this is one that I am always going to share with you. Sit with yourself. Take care of yourself. Whether you are in the shower and you're scrubbing down, take that as an opportunity to cleanse yourself. Just imagine as you're, loofah or washclothing it up in the shower, just imagine washing off the things that no longer serve you. As they wash away down the drain, like they're just gone out of your life. Use the little simple things in your life as an opportunity to create a little magic, to work a little ritual, to call in the things that you want, to cut out the things that you're done with. There is so much magic in the world. All we have to do is just take the opportunity to see it. So I'll leave you with these final words. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to watch this video through to the end. If you like this video and you'd like to see more content like it, please click the thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up. subscribe or ring the notification bell if you would like to be informed as soon as there's new content available. And of course, take a look down in the description box below. I will include my website and a link to book a private consultation with me if you'd like personal guidance, harnessing the power of the stars in your life on a day-to-day basis. Until we meet again, much love to you all, many blessings. I wish you the very best winter holiday season and wish you good Yule. I will see you next year.